Censorship can make or break games. It's 2021 and people should be able to create the content they want and enjoy the content they want. But companies are more worried about pleasing outrage mobs on social media instead of just creating good games. And the newest game to have censored costumes and characters is Lost Ark, a game a lot of people were very excited for. And of course, now that it has been shown that they are censoring and toning down content in the game, it's causing a lot of controversy on social media. I have a couple of different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Sankaku Complex article. It says Western version of Lost Ark censors sexy outfits and blackwashes characters. Of course, after this was shown on social media, a lot of people have been voicing their distaste for these moves. A lot of people have been extremely upset with the fact that they toned down and censored the game. But it says social justice advocates who try to fight colonization have implemented various changes to the English version of action RPG Lost Ark in an attempt to westernize it, as the title has removed sexier female outfits from the start screen and replaced them with more modest ones, changed white-skinned characters to be black, and even removed some character customization options. It says that various screenshots comparing the differences between the US and EU version of the game, the original Korean version, and even the Russian version, which is uncensored humorously enough, are of course down below. And I actually find this pretty interesting. I expected the Russian version to also be censored, primarily because they've been cracking down on things like anime and also video games, but here are a lot of screenshots. We're not just talking about one or two differences, one or two things being toned down. No, we are talking about tons of different changes here. So as you can see here is just some of the costume changes. The top row is the Korean version of the game and the bottom row is the North American version, and there are some massive differences here. The costumes are basically the same except for the fact that any skin that would be showing is covered up by this like black bodysuit underneath, and it doesn't look good. Especially the right image with the red outfit. On the top row for both of them, I honestly think that they look good, but the right side image on the top looks super cool. I really love that outfit. I think that it looks really, really good. And unfortunately, if I wanted to play the game, I'd have to deal with this black bodysuit underneath, which completely ruins the outfit. I'm not a fan of this. It looks lazy. It's not even like they tried to censor it in a way that players would accept. It's not like they tried to change up the costume in like a fitting way. No. They just decided to add this black bodysuit underneath, which looks awful. I do not support censorship at all, but they could have at least tried to make it look like a new, unique costume, but they didn't even try. They're so lazy and they don't even care enough to try and make it look interesting for people that have to play this version of the game. So the next image shows NPCs in the game, but they have been race swapped. Their skin color and hair colors are different. Some of the angles for the females are also different to show less of their midsection, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, but I don't think that they should be race swapping characters. If you want characters with, all different ethnicities in the game, go ahead, but don't change existing characters, just make new ones. And if we look at the presets and face shapes, there are some drastic differences here. In the top row, with the Korean-Russian version of the game, there are way more facial structure options, and if you look at the default and preset characters, there are a lot less black characters, and in the bottom, North American and European row, there are way less face shapes and way more skin colors highlighted. My problem with them removing face presets and toning down outfits is that developers should be giving players more options, not taking them away, and changing NPC designs because they think it appeals to a certain group of people more is absolutely ridiculous. And of course, it doesn't. It will just make them lose consumers. They should allow skimpy outfits. They should also have more covered up options for the people who want those clothes, and then everyone's happy. But no, they are afraid that cancel culture vultures will come after them and cancel them over having skimpy outfit designs, so we get censored content like this. Now I'm going to show off some of the outfits that have been censored and toned down, and of course this one right here is probably the worst. This outfit in general looks the same. As you can see, the robes are the same, the chest piece design is kind of the same, the shoulder pieces are the same, but unfortunately the European and North American version has this black bodysuit underneath, which makes it look terrible. And I like seeing skimpy outfits and also more covered up outfits, but the bodysuit takes away from the design and it just doesn't look good. This image also looks terrible in my opinion. The outfits are generally the same, the color schemes are changed around, but on the European and North American version, the character has long sleeves and she's also got this like scarf situation going on, so of course she's not showing any cleavage. I am also not a fan of this outfit, and then this one again with the black bodysuits. These outfits just look terrible, and the original versions look so much better. If you don't know, Lost Ark is a Korean game, and that's a big reason why people want to play it, is to see what the Korean developers have done, and changing it around is massively disrespectful to the original developers and the content they've created. Same with a Japanese game, or a Chinese game, or a European game. Having these terribly localized versions of games are not going to sell copies, they're just going to make people upset. I want to see these people's character designs, what they find pretty, and their points of views that they can put into games, the cultures and their takes on fantasy. I don't want to experience a game where people are going, you know what, this is far too offensive, and it's altered during the localization process. And it's really unfortunate that this has happened because, again, a lot of people were looking forward to Lost Ark, but now it's censored. I also wanted to show off this Twitter post. It's from Yagensha. It says, "Welp, there goes my interest in Lost Ark. Those are some of the worst and heaviest changes I have ever seen in localization. Less revealing outfits, less face presets, character race change, etc. Thanks Amazon Game Studios for destroying my hype." And I just wanted to show off some of the responses because it seems like everyone is pretty upset over this situation. Somebody said at Lost Ark, "What is the point of changing the character designs? You know no one likes censorship. Do you really want the game to fail? I already lost interest in the game because of the censorship." And I agree. I wasn't really that excited for Lost Ark, but I was keeping my eye on it, and unfortunately with these character design changes, I know a lot of people aren't going to give it a shot now, and it looked like it was going to be decent, but of course they just had to go and ruin it during localization. People are saying things like, "Damn, I was really looking forward to this game too. Wow, they even changed the men. Why? For diversity? If this is how it's implemented, then they shouldn't have even bothered." Someone said, "This is what happens when people constantly go, oh, but it's just a little censorship, and make excuses for a company. I don't know why people think that this is acceptable when there's 1,000 other great games that aren't censored to play, but it looks like I get to save my money," and it's so incredibly true. When you give companies an inch, they'll take a mile. They might put a little bit of censorship into a game, and if you just say, oh, that's fine, you know, it's only a little bit, then the next game there's going to be a little bit more, and a little bit more, and as games go on, you're going to see more and more censorship, and that's not what I want to support personally. That's why I talk about any instance of censorship I see. Basically, I try to bring awareness to censorship going on in the gaming industry and entertainment industries, but it seems like Lost Ark is going to be heavily censored and toned down, and it's just really unfortunate to see. I know any interest that I had in the game is kind of dead at this point, but let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.